Okay, welcome to the Jaffna Club March Zoom. So I'm here from London for a few weeks. So our speaker this month is Mr Ganendran, who is the CEO of Victoria International Aqua. And Ganan, I wrote an article published a few days ago. So I interviewed Gannon, and he's had a very interesting journey from a degree in IT, which he took in the Philippines, through working for some corporates, setting up a couple of businesses himself, but now a very successful exporter of seafood and sea cucumber from Jaffna. So as usual, I will, for the people who haven't participated in one of our Zooms, I'll go through our objectives. The club will facilitate, foster and support social intercourse and fellowship among its members. It will build a network of members and non-members that can work together to promote the economic development of the Northern Province. What is the club for? The club is a catalyst. So when I say a catalyst, I mean that the club isn't trying to build an empire for itself. It doesn't set up businesses. It doesn't raise money. It doesn't donate funds. All that can happen through the network that the club creates. So it helps people like us connect with each other. It helps people like us connect with Northern entrepreneurs and business opportunities. Had uninterrupted monthly meetings since September 2020, and I just slowly page through this so you can see who has spoken. So this is pretty much a who's who of entrepreneurs, investors, educationalists. We had Jeevan Thiagaraja, who at the time of his speech, he was the governor. We've had bank managers. Stephen Hall was the head of the Halo Trust, which is a UK-funded NGO that is removing landmines around the country. We had two lawyers, Sankan Wansa and Mohan Balendra. Can I ask someone, there's some background noise going on. If you can all mute them yourselves, please. And last month, we had Father Ashok Amladas of the Don Bosco Infotech, who's doing remarkable things in Kilinochie around training our young people to enter the IT industry. Now, most of these are available as recordings on YouTube. So now we will move to our speaker, Mr. Ganendran. And I put his contact details here. So, Ganan, would you like to take over?
Yeah, thank you, Jahan, for inviting me to express, my experience in this field. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thanks for the time that you have given to me today. Well, as Jahan says, I can start I'm introducing myself. Actually, my name is Ganendran. And I was born in Nawali, Manipai, and I studied at St. Patrick's College. I started my career actually when the displays started in 1995. Most of you guys will, know what has happened in 1995 to Jaffna. All right, I left my home with one shorts and t-shirt. It may be surprising you guys. So I went to, I stopped my A-level. After A-level, I stopped going to school because of the country's situation. So I went to Philippines. I did my IT degree there. So at that time, many of the people want to go out of Sri Lanka. One side is protect their protection for themselves and then to earn some money. But myself want to come back to Sri Lanka to work here and finding new opportunities. So I came back. I started my IT career in Sloan Business Appliances, which is located in Colombo, as a senior IT technician. While doing that job, I found quite uncomfortable for me because the IT is being regularly updating itself. So we have been. I was in the hardware engineering field, so later on, the IT, the engineering hardware line becomes more easier to end users. Like we don't need to like example when there's a fault in the motherboard. Those days we used to repair, but after 97, 98, 2000, they introduce new product just to replace the defective parts. So that time many of the people lost their jobs like me. And then I quit hardware line and I joined the travel field, travels and tourism, for the next 3 years. While I'm doing that, through that experience, I started my own business. I started my own business, and for almost 3 4 years, I have been doing that. When the time they introduced the online purchasing and the online purchasing tickets, most of the travel agents got affected by that, and I'm one of them, and lost the business and closed the shop. After that, I worked for Tokyo Cement as a marketing executive for ready mix. So those things gave me more experience in the different product, like in the cement, tourism, and then IT. So I met so many variety, so many kind of people. So while I was doing that, uh, this I was looking for an opportunity to start from my own. So that time my friend came from abroad, and telling me there's a high demand for seafood industry in Europe. So why don't you start that? So I was starting a seafood industry is not a small this is it's not a simple thing. You must know about that. You must study about that. So what I did was, before I started learning about the seafood industry, how to identify the quality product. It took it takes me around more or less 6 or 7 months to study the product identity and the product quality. So what I did was, I used to go to the market in Jaffna. I just sit down and watch so how they identify the product. Finally, after 6 months, I get the thorough experience. Then I was looking for a good buyer. At the time, I found one person through my friend. He's interested in seafood, buying seafood. So I started the seafood business. I mean, whenever you start a business, the struggles comes in front of you. Whenever you start, the struggles, blocks, hindrances. So while I was doing that, the man cheated me for some money. So I was wondering how to do that. So that while I was doing business with him, I was introduced to someone through him. That guy approached me to do the restart the business again. So I started the business with him. I was sending products from Sri Lanka to him. Until now, the relationship is good. So we have a healthy business going on, very successful. While I was doing in the seafood, expand. I want to expand my business. So in Jaffna, we have a very high value product, which is a sea cucumber. When I was a child, my grandfather used to sell that to some exporters who are exporting to Singapore, China, and Hong Kong. So that was in my mind when I was a childhood. I saw these products being very high value product. They have been exporting. There's a high demand in the world, in the Chinese market. Actually, they call it's a Chinese medicine. It's the richest people's food in China. So I was trying to find a way to start. We found one place for to do the trial. We did that for the 2 years. We did the trial. It was very much successful. While I was doing the trial with some others, someone else farm, we started applied for our own. So it took early stage. It took 2 years for me to get the license. So finally, I got the license, and we have been doing it for last 3 years. We have been we have been very success in that. Still, there are problems. There are some practical issues, but our production is quite high, and the quality of the products is so very high demand in Singapore, Hong Kong, and China. Very recently, there are plenty of foreigners visited my farm, and they are very happy with that. So that's how my business is going. So sea cucumber industry is what I was trying to say is sea cucumber industry anyone can do if they have a better knowledge. We are ready to train them. Then we can bring up the Jaffna economy in a high level. So we will be continuously doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganan. I have a couple of questions, and then I'll open the floor to other people. So by advising some other people, I've got to know something about sea cucumber industry in the northern province, and I have seen I think in the last 3 years, sea cucumber farms spreading all around the Panay Causeway, around Mandativu. So it is very much a growing industry. But I noticed that most of the farmers are not processing the sea cucumber, which means they're not drying them for export. Why is that? I know that you are doing that, but I notice most are not. Why is that?
Actually, honestly speaking, sea cucumber industry is covered by a huge mafia. To get the license, I mean, everything you need a license to process, to catch, to transport. Whatever you do, each part you need to get license. And also, they when they approach a department, they are not advising them how to do that and what is the benefit. And some people are lazy. Honestly speaking, some people are lazy. They just catch raw and give it to somebody. Somebody will make the money. We must have a good awareness program for the farmers where they can make the end product. So get that they benefit that they will benefit by that.
'Cause you're processing, I think, the animals that you yourself grew.
Yeah.
Is there any processor in
Yeah.
the Northern Province who's buying the animals from other farmers and doing the processing in the Northern Province?
There are 2 or 3 processors are here. They do buy it from the small scale farmers and do their processing.
Okay. Kurt, you have your hand up. Kurt, you're muted at the moment. Hello, Kurt. Yeah. Hi, Kurt, you have your hand up?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Can you see my
Yeah,
video as well? Okay.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay. It's really, I resonate with what Gajan is saying, IT industry, we as a company and myself, we transformed along the way, fixing, I'm an electronics engineer, right?
All
We're
right.
fixing motherboards and everything. Then when it became multi-layer boards, it cannot fix,
Yeah.
server small chips and everything.
Yeah.
So you have to replace. That's going back and back. But
Yeah.
that's a good opportunity that you have found with the market that people eat every day, right? I think that is what's important now with the AI and everything coming. People have to eat every day, right?
Yeah.
And so this cucumber, you said everybody can do it because I just want to relate myself to you as well because you are from Navadi. My grandfather is from Navadi, and I don't know whether you know Uliyadambi Master.
Yeah, I know he's a neighbor to me.
Yeah. So, so we know him very well. We
All right.
knew him and the family very well, right?
Yeah.
So
Tell us, Kurt, who was he?
He was an innovator too. He was a really, he was a master at St. John's College. Then, and something happened during, it's too long ago when Purnampulla became the principal of St. John's College. A few masters rebelled against him because of his approach. So they left, and Ilayadami master, he started the education center in Jaffna, and it became very, very successful. And they themselves are, uh, uh, you know, uh, from a family of, fishing, and, but he became a very successful educationalist, Jaffna. I'm going back 50 years
In
now.
70s, yeah, 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good that before the meeting we talked about pivoting, changing. No, unless you change, you cannot do anything. You have to change with the market. So I'm so happy that you have done what you've done, what you're doing, right? And
Mm.
the questions that I have, you said sea cucumber is e- easy for many people to do it, but how big is the market? That's one
It's,
question, right?
yeah.
And the easier market is farming Kodua meal, Baramandi.
Barramundi, yeah.
Baramandi is well-loved fish, but it's also farmed, right? And the other thing is Ministry of Crabs opened up another shop in restaurant in Melbourne, Australia. I'm calling it Australia now.
Mhm.
So, so is there an opportunity for you to get into mud crabs and prawns? Somebody is echoing here.
Yeah. Can you all mute yourselves unless you're speaking? Okay, thank you. Yes. So Kurt,
I asked 3 questions, right?
yeah.
Seacucumber, anybody can do, and I
Yeah.
want to know what is the market, right? It's
Yeah.
okay. You're doing very well. It's fine. I have never eaten sea cucumber, so I don't know what it is like. But barramundi in Australia is a big thing,
Okay.
and mud crabs is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
And how are you going to storage? That's a, I will talk to Jagan about that. If there's a surplus of production, then we need to be able to store it and to distribute to the whole world, right?
Yeah.
So those are the things I need to ask you.
Okay. First, regarding the sea cucumber, there is a high market in the world where the Chinese community lives. Okay. The sea cucumber production, it's coming from mostly from Sri Lanka, some from Australia, some from Indonesia and the Philippines. Compare with Australia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, Sri Lanka is having a Sri Lanka's production is very high, and still that's not enough to fulfill the requirement of this market. Actually, sea cucumber, they call it's a Chinese medicine that is good for arthritis, anti-cancerous, long life, and some other this thing also. It's like a nutrition's product, high in protein with no cholesterol. So the high value demand is there. So the production is not enough to fulfill the requirement until now. Even though it's the richest people food, ordinary Chinese people will not afford to buy that one. For an example, the number one quality, number one standard, like 10 pieces per kilo, it goes more than $1,500 per kilo. Just 10 pieces. So that is the high value end. Something like that. So that's a sea cucumber. Second question is regarding the barramundi. So when it goes to aquaculture, the barramundi culturing also has been introduced in Sri Lanka. But barramundi, it's a very aggressive fish, which cannot be cultured in the sea or the lagoon. He will break the net and go out. Unless you should have a huge lagoon area and block the lagoon area and harvested it. So like that in Trincomalee, they're doing the barramundi farming in the middle of the sea. I mean, making that huge cages like iron cages. But still in Jaffna we can introduce. There are 2 or 3 guys tried, and they were not successful in this barramundi harvest because of the technology. We don't have the proper technology here to do the barramundi culture. What is your regarding the mud crab? There was a, I mean, those days there is a high demand. High production was here in mud crab in Jaffna. Now, because of plenty of issues like method of fishing, global warming, and like mainly method of fishing. Because of the method of fishing, the mud crab mud crab is being, the production is very less in the sea. So mostly it's now is coming from Batikalo and Trincomalee, all these from those lagoon areas. So the from Jaffna mud crabs are very less right now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Gannon. Having spoken to Kurt in Australia, we have Tam in Toronto and then Janan in New York. So covering the Tam, go ahead.
Thanks, Ganendran. Yes, I have a couple of questions, maybe more, but later. These sea cucumbers are considered the natural janitors of the ocean floor. It cleans up the organic waste, excess sediment and all. Have you done any environmental assessment, impact assessment? Number one. And number two, in relation to that, the sea cucumbers are known to keep the pH level of the sea floor to less acidic. So the other calcium-based coral reef, they can survive. If the floor becomes more acidic, they dissolve, and all these the protection that it gives, the coral reef gives to the other animals or small fishes, so that's disrupt the habitat. So have you done any assessment, any consultation with the environmentalists on this issue?
No, we haven't done anything because this part is done by a nectar. So actually, as a farmer, I am not a scientist as well. Actually, these researchers has been nectar has been doing this, and sea cucumber, when it comes, you're trying to say it's harming the fertilization of the fish. That's what are you trying to say?
No, actually, the floor, ocean floor, it's kept loosened by sea cucumbers, right? That the
Yes.
soil is loosened
Yeah.
and by doing that, that ocean, the layer of the ocean floor becomes more. When you remove the sea cucumbers from the floor,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
comes acidic. The
Yeah.
water become acidic.
Acidic.
So acidic. So that this coral reef
Yeah.
cannot stand that acidic status of the water because it is calcium carbonate, right? So
Yeah.
so it disappears. So there were some issues in Southeast Asian ocean floors. They're largely depleted by Chinese farming. So they are moving to Sri Lanka, and then the Sri Lankan and Indian environmentalists raised concerns of this coral reef protection. So, so by measuring the pH level of the ocean floor, you can determine whether it is progressively becoming acidic or stay neutral.
That's why they have now controlling the wild harvesting. I think the wild harvest thing is the one affecting. Your whatever side of the calcium particle. The calcium carbonate. When you
Coral reef,
control
yeah.
the wild, that will of course affecting the sea. That's why they have stopped wild harvest and encouraging to do the culture. Actually, what we do
Farming,
is
yeah.
farming. So it's a small area where we farm, and mostly sea cucumber is eating the alga
Algae,
sediment.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why. In that area, it doesn't give any harm to the other. Fish breeding and all.
So what I mean, just what I understand is that in the sea cucumber farms, from a baby to harvesting is about 8 or 9 months. Is that right?
8 to 12 months. Yeah, 8 to 12 months. Yes.
So you have a high density of sea cucumber and a farm is typically a few
Yes.
acres of.
1 acre is 4,000 pieces per acre.
Right.
Yeah.
So actually, the sea cucumber activity in that acre is probably higher than in the wild.
In the
But
wild, yeah.
do you want to quickly explain who NACTA is? Because most people here won't know.
NACTA is National Aquatic Development Authority, which is assigned by government to develop the aquaculture in Sri Lanka.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Tam. Janan in New York, would you like to?
Yeah. Hi, Ganin. My name is Janan, and as you, very similar path. I have been a system engineer for quite a long time, spent 20 years on Wall Street, and now got into farming. And currently, have been doing coconut farming and coconut fiber production, and now I have ventured into a little bit of a serious venture into aquaculture. And I'm doing like inland freshwater aquaculture. So currently, I'm in the process of building tilapia farming and also prawns. And the next stage is mud crabs we are looking into. I'm doing this in Yakachi. We just started about a few months ago and moving on. So it's quite nice to hear your story and how successful you are. Hope once I get to the marketing level, I can talk to you and get some advice on like freshwater fish marketing also. So I have been dealing with NAFTA and quite a few departments to get through this whole permit process. So we are planning to do about 24 ponds. So looking forward to learning a lot and making this a success. So it's good to know somebody who is successful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Janan. So, Ganan, as we've heard, there are a number of different seafood products that are right for the north. Of these, can you I can't remember the fancy word for it, but have more than one product in the same acre of sea?
Can you repeat again? What are you trying to say?
So what I'm asking is, so the sea cucumber are bottom dwellers.
Yes.
So above that, in the same area, can you have other fish?
Yes.
Like integrated farming, right? Integrated farming?
Yeah, that is, you can do seaweeds and you can, because it's a fence-based farm. In sea cucumber farming, with sea cucumber, you can do seaweeds and mussels. Your mussels, right? We can do as well, yeah.
Okay. Vasi in Australia.
Ganem, I have two questions. First is, do you have your own processes to process seafood? What's the product called? Cucumber.
Cucumber. Yeah. We have our own product, and we have our own processor, and we have our own processing area. We do that. Yeah.
So, are you fulfilling your own capacity? I mean, whatever the capacity, are you reaching the maximum?
We are reaching the maximum, but our production is not enough to supply to the world.
Yeah, but aren't you in a position to buy from other small suppliers and processing?
We can, but that is our next future plan. But presently, it's quite unstable because of the exchange rate and all. We cannot decide the final price. Suddenly, the prices has gone terribly down last year. So we've been thinking how to give them a good price and purchase from them. Now, still there are plenty of farmers willing to sell. We are not yet. Maybe next year or other years we will be starting to purchase from other farmers as well.
But are you in a position to store them in a cold storage and process later?
Actually, no, we can't do like that. Actually, when you harvest from fresh, you have to start processing.
Right.
So immediately you have to start processing and you dry it. After drying it, you can keep it.
Right.
In the cold store.
My second question is there a threat of people from traders from outside the northern province coming and purchasing for the smaller harvesters or farmers at the moment?
There are a few. There are a few with some old the old how do you say that? Very experienced people who has license, they come and dominate other people here.
That is a threat you need to mitigate, isn't it, going forward?
Yeah. We need to come out of that. Yeah.
All right. These are the fundamental questions. Thank you for your answers and for your session today. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you then. Yeah.
Thank you, Vasi. Amalendran.
Yeah, it's me, Amalendran. Actually, these places are identified by NECTA. NECTA found the places and they will introduce to the farmers if the sea cucumber can grow only. So that survey NECTA has done first. Second thing, the Central Environmental Authority also, the farmers has to get the approval. So it means they are giving the license to do so. Yeah. So that kind of things farmers has to do. See in Jaffna Kacheri, they have to get the permission. They will do the field visit and they will give the license
for them.
Yeah. There are so many government entities involving in producing this license. DS office, AD fisheries, NACTA, Central Environmental Authority, and now the Pradeshiya Sabha also came into the picture and they also requesting the farmers to pay.
Yeah, we pay almost 1 million for 20 acres, which we didn't. This is quite a huge money when we invest. It's a quite huge money to pay to the government to start the business. Government has to encourage people.
Yeah. Actually, for 9.6 acres can be given for a company. The maximum they can get. For that, nowadays, the lease charges for DS offices 4 lakhs and 46,000 or something for 10 acres. Annual lease we have to pay. The thing is, actually, this is devised for the land. For the sea, so far they don't have protocol to get how to get that lease. So they are using the land lease to sea.
But Amalendran, can I ask you a question? With so many different bodies that need to give permission, is that causing a unnecessary bottleneck, or do you think it's necessary?
Exactly, but there are for the sea cucumber industry, there are massive pressure from these traditional fishermen. They are saying, the sea encroach with the companies, sea cucumber farmers, like that. But the people, those who are using for farming places are actually not good for the fishing purpose. So it is good to have like this because we northern province blessed with this kind of sea.
Why don't the fishermen themselves do 1 acre or 2 acres?
Nowadays they are doing it. After we started in 2019. After seeing us, the most of the fishermen are now doing it. Even single 1 acre, 1.5 acres farming. All the small farmers are from the fishermen.
Okay.
Yeah, because they get more benefit than the daily fishing. That's why.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
because actually. Good. It's Mr. Javan. It's what I'm trying to say. The fisheries industry is being destroyed. So
being destroyed by what?
By the method of fishing, bottom trawling, global warming. all these things are affecting the fisheries industry.
Right. Yes.
So they have to have another second solution, another solution to start with the new opportunities. If the
Yes.
fisherman is earning reasonably, why is he jumping to the farming?
Yes. Yes. Okay, Raj, you have your hand up.
Yes. First of all, you guys from Manipai, I had some connection, or I was born in Manipai long time ago, but I never lived there. So close to my heart. I have been involved in this sea cucumber thing through a charity. I was presiding Scott here in London, and at that time we gave some funds for a lady to run this in Punerin. Unfortunately, she couldn't manage that, but there's a huge market for this, and also the seafood. I mean, somebody asked about market size. I don't think we have to worry about the market size for any seafood item. In fact, I have some connections. I have some exclusive deals in 9 different countries. So I would like to get in touch with Ganen after this meeting and talk to him about some of the things that we could help him with in terms of the marketing side.
Thank you.
That's great. Raj, a matter of interest, you said that the lady in Pune, without mentioning her name, what was the problem she had?
There were so many problems. In fact, we gave funds for, I think, 10 acres. So she couldn't handle all that in the first instance, even though she had support from somebody who was well experienced in that field. And even Douglas Devananda was trying to get that guy to develop the sea cucumber industry. But she didn't have that administrative capability to manage this. So that was the major issue. And it's not easy because it's not just growing sea cucumber, it's also protecting your sea cucumber from the others. They come and steal this overnight and so on. So it's a difficult place or industry to be in, especially in that area.
Especially to the ladies, sorry to interrupt you. Did I ask, is that the lady you have been funding? I mean, did she appear in UN once?
I don't think so.
I
don't
heard
know
there's
her
a lady.
that well.
There was a lady. She approached me and asked advice. I told her, if you present yourself personally, only you can do this business. If you don't visit, if you allow somebody to do, anyway, you won't be able to doing it. Because what we do is we never stay at home. Like Jagan knows. We stay in the farm. Most of the time we stay in the farm monitoring everything. You can't even trust the staff as well, because it's a very high value product. It's like a gold. If you see a gold in the street, you will never allow, you will never leave and go, right?
Right.
So even though your staff is trustworthy, the thief will come and change the mind of the person, and they'll make use of the person to
I think
steal.
that was the major problem, because she was not based there. She was based in Colombo. She was a lawyer or paralegal. I don't know which one it is. And she was trying to get it done for charitable reasons. And we were also managing as a charity, and we were at arm's length, and we didn't get involved. So there were some administrative issues.
I mean, I think that's
having a farm is not an expense. I mean, to maintain. I mean, to protect, that is the main. 90% of the expense goes to the protection for security.
Absolutely, yes. Security and the nets. And also the staff, overnight staff especially.
Overnight staff. Sea cucumber will grow as it is, because we have plenty of food for them in the lagoon. It goes naturally, but to protect that sea cucumber, we need to have a proper security system. That is the main expense.
And also, if you are exporting it, what's also important is that critical mass, because some of the deals that we have, I've been talking to lots of people involved in seafood in Colombo, Negombo, and other areas as well, except for the mafia you mentioned. There is a mafia there as well. I kept away from them. And the problem we had, somebody else also touched on, is the storage facility. They are willing to export fresh food, but if it is frozen, there is difficulty. And the guys are telling me that the electricity costs so much, so we can't afford to freeze them and keep them for a long period. So the additional facilities, processing units are not there. That's why when you started saying you have the facility, I was very keen. And as I said, we should get in touch with each other.
Okay, thank you, Raj. We have Vasi and we have Prince with their hands up. But I just want to ask Gannon a very quick question. Now, I know that the sea cucumber are harvested after 9 months on average. But is there a best time to take the sea cucumber, or if you don't have processing capacity, can you let them carry on for another year or another few months?
We can let them, but you have to face some issues like security issues. Sometimes if it's overgrown, it will die. Maybe after 20, maximum living time is more or less 24 months is the maximum time for sea cucumber.
Okay, thank you. Vasi, as you've already had one go.
No, I want one more. Then one more, please. Session.
All right, go on then. Go on.
Yeah, Janan, how do you secure the production? How do you take stock of your product? I mean, items. And are you using AI in your farm?
No, we are not using any AI. We are running manually actually.
Right.
We don't do any, I mean, we don't have a power supply in our island. That's the main issue. So we do manual. If you don't have a power, you can't do anything. So we do everything manually. To keep the product after drying, you can keep that in the air conditioned room. So minus maybe around 18, 19 degree Celsius. You can keep that. It will take off the moisture and it'll keep it as long as you want.
Yeah, but how do you keep a track of the quantity of the stock in the water?
What do you mean? Stock in the water? We take out and process and keep it.
I think he means the live stock in the water.
At any point of time.
Yeah, go ahead.
At any point in time, if you want to know how many items are there, how do you know that?
We cannot predict that. Until we take it off, only we will know whether it's alive or died, or to have some counting. Sometimes when we know, when we die, when we see in one, we have divided the farm into 8 or 10 squares. So when we see the I mean physical appearance, we can just recognize, okay, this is here. So when it dies, it goes. Sometimes it dies under the sand. We cannot. I mean, identify the exact quantity unless you harvest.
Okay,
so how do you stop from
Vasi, we just have another 5 minutes. So
okay, fine. Thank you. That's enough.
Thank you, Vasi. Prince, and then Kurt, and then I'll wind up. So Prince, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. So literally, I'm Prince. My native is Jaffna, and right now I'm in London. So I came here for my higher studies. So right now I'm working as a paralegal over here. So as being a Jaffna girl, I know how much I miss seafood. So it might be a bit away from sea cucumber to my question is like either if I need to have some kind of like seafood, like a so-called fresh seafood, either I have to travel to a certain places or certain vendors to grab it. So which is literally I'm a bit away from the certain places. So when I talk to my brothers who are not willing, who are voluntarily wants to be in Sri Lanka rather than moving abroad, and who are willing to start up some kind of like businesses and all. So we had a conversation regarding this, starting up this kind of like seafood export stuff. So as you already in the field, my question is like, already you have mentioned there are lots of involves of mafia, and as per I hear, there are lots of political involvement and so on. So my question is, how you have like how to say, like, you said you are doing this since 2019, right? So do you think like we have to be in person and we have to put all of our time in it to get the process on, or like what are the main obstacles that you have go through? And other question is, along with sea cucumber, is there any possibility to do some other seafoods exports, because already you are in the field, rather than we starting something new? Why can't you take up in your hand and giving your contribution to the export, seafood export to the abroad, especially UK? Because there are certain brands called Diamond and other some few things. Those are like packed frozen food, which never ever stays like the thing that we got from
Fresh.
Jaffna.
Yeah.
So that's my question. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Actually, fresh seafood, when you're talking about the fresh seafood, I am weekly sending 1 to 2 tons to England, to UK. You can, if you want the fresh one, you can buy in Wembley, Hounslow, or Leicester. 3 shops we have there. All right, one thing. Other thing, if you want to export, if you want to supply, of course we can. Or if your brother is who is here who want to send, I can guide them also how to start with this. In the seafood industry, I mean seafood export, I started in 2016, almost 9 to 10 years. But only sea cucumber I started in 2019. What was your next question, please?
So, Gannon, as we're running short of time, I'm going to give everybody your contact. So, Princey, if you contact, it sounds like Gannon can help you.
Definitely,
So
definitely. I'll be very happy to.
Thank you, Gannon. Final question from Kurt.
So, ideally, I like to get connected with Gannon.
Yes, please.
Because I have questions and many things I need to discuss with him, because I think he's on the right track. There's a huge demand for what he is doing, and the journey is so interesting. So that's all I need to know, because I had questions, but since time is running out, let's not waste this time. Jagan, just please connect with Gannon.
Yes.
Thank you.
I mean, Gannon, just for your information, Kurt's technology company services hundreds of restaurants in Australia. So I think more than 1,000. So he'll be a very good contact for you.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much. We'll be happy to guide you, advise you, whatever the necessary things we can supply.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Gannon. That was
thank you, John. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the time.
And as usual, we've run out of time. So as usual, we have people from New York to Australia. I wish you good morning, lunchtime, my lunchtime. Now I'm in the UK.
Yeah.
Have a nice cup of tea, Gannon, and good night, Kurt.
Good night, Sugar. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye.